What's going on, everybody? Cigar Show Tim here of Tobacco Talk Media, and I have got a review on a brand new desktop humidor from a brand that reached out to me recently called Woodronic. There you can see it right there. And as you see on the box, it says over 5 decades of combined design and craftsmanship. So let's go through it, let's see what it has to offer, and let's see if it stacks up against the competition and other humidors I've reviewed in the past. All right, so let's open this up and see what we've got here. Like I said, it's a 50 to 80 count depending on Vitola. If you're doing Robustos, if you're doing Toros, obviously everything's going to be variable. Very nicely packed. It's got the foam on either side of it. That sort of spongy foam, not the hard styrofoam that just flakes and makes a mess everywhere. We'll take those off. And then it's wrapped in this paper here. Okay. Very nice at first appearance, first impressions. Let me show you the humidor here. That's what it looks like. And as you can see right here, this is a hygrometer, and I believe it does temperature as well. We'll find that out in just a minute. And then if you look here, like many other humidors are starting to come out with, there is a drawer here. It's actually very stiff in a good way to slide open and close. So it's not super loose. Things aren't going to fall out. And it is a tray to hold. We'll get rid of that. A tray to hold your cutters, your lighters, because let's face it, when you're looking for a cutter and a lighter, they never seem to be super handy. So this is a good size humidor, and that tray is going to hold a lot of cutters and lighters for you. So if we come right here to the front, you can see that it is a glass top humidor. Let me take the foam out of it here and see what we've got inside. Okay, so we have a tray that sits on top. Oh, there are a few goodies in there as well. So this tray here, it is all Spanish cedar lined. You can see right down here, it does say Woodronic lasered right on there. Very nice touch. And it's got the slots as well as the holes in there so that you can have circulation for the humidity inside the humidor. Let me set that to the side real quick. And let's keep going in. So in here, they include an instruction manual, which we'll get to shortly. And then there is a divider, which comes with many desktop humidors. There's actually a microfiber cleaning cloth to wipe down the glass. Nice touch there. And it comes with 2 Boveda packs that are 72%, and they are the 60-gram two-way humidity control Boveda packs in there. This comes with every single humidor that you order from them. Nice touch on their end. They are still sealed, everything like that. So very nicely done. And then there is another gel silica pack, which we do not need. And let's see here. There is this. And then there's another paper down on the bottom here. And this is just basic information of how to go through for the batteries and all those different things, the warnings, the hazards, all that fun stuff. So if you look in here, let me take this out. They got the Boveda packs, the instructions, and the microfiber. Let's just set that to the side real quick. If you look in here, you can see the humidor and the depth of it right there. And you probably, whoop, there goes the drawer. And you probably see the little tab right here. If you pull that out, that will turn on and activate the hygrometer, unless it is a thermometer hygrometer at the same time. And let's see what it does. Yes, so it is turning on, and let's see what it does together. 45% relative humidity. Let's bring it back so it's in focus. 45% relative humidity, and it says 77.5 degrees Fahrenheit on it right there. So let's continue looking through it. So one of the big things I look at when checking out desktop humidors are the seal. You don't want to hear a thud. You want to hear more of like a whoosh. I don't know if you can hear that. There's definitely a whoosh kind of sound. It's not just a solid like thud of the lid closing. It means you've got a good tight seal on it. And as you season a wooden desktop humidor, the wood is going to expand as it pulls in moisture, and it's going to make that seal even tighter. So this should be a really nice sealing humidor. And as I go to push the lid down, there's actually a little bit of resistance, which means there's a good matchup of the wood right there on the lid and the main part of the humidor, so it will have a good tight seal. So it does have a glass top, as you can see, and I'm going to hold it this way so that way the drawer doesn't slide out. Let's go right there. So it's got a a glass top here, and some other humidors, depending on what brand they are, the wood in there actually is pretty loose. This one I am trying to slide side to side, and it does not budge a single bit at all. Very, very nice touch on that, which means you're going to have a tighter seal around it, and it is going to hold on to humidity better. I still recommend, if you put it on, spin it around here, right here where you can see the seam is, I still recommend for everybody that gets a wooden desktop humidor that has a glass top on the lid to put a little thin bead of clear caulking around it, because then you ensure that humidity isn't going to leak out between the glass pane and the wood that it is enclosed in. I do that with every single wooden desktop humidor that I review. I talk about it. It's one of those things that just has to be mentioned, because glass top desktop humidors, that's just how they are. That is, they leak humidity. That's just the nature of the beast. But this one with the glass stable in there is actually really impressive, because most of the ones that I review, the glass does tend to shift quite a bit. Okay, does have the typical brass hinges, as you can see right here on both sides. Let's go over there. The brass hinges, as you can see right there, very nice. And the humidity, I'm glad it's reading low. It is reading at 44% humidity, and it's showing 77.2 degrees Fahrenheit at this point. Let's talk about a couple things with desktop humidors. When you season them, and I'm glad they included two 72% humidity packs from Boveda, when you season them, never, I don't care what the instructions say, I'm going to look to see if it's in here, never wipe it down with a wet sponge. Never, never do it. So it says a hygrometer, Spanish cedar lining, divider or trays. Do not, this is actually a good information instruction manual. Do not place any cigars in a new humidor before it is well set up, meaning acclimated and seasoned. Check the seal in the humidor to see if it's properly secure to store your cigars. Check the accuracy of the digital hygrometer. This is not an adjustable hygrometer. There's no buttons on the back to adjust it. There's no screw. There's nothing like that to calibrate it. But the digital hygrometer with buttons on the back can be adjusted to refer to the digital hygrometer section below, which is basically the different readouts of the humidity and then changing between Celsius and Fahrenheit. So what it recommends for setup here, and I like that it doesn't say wipe it down. It says place a shot glass or small shallow bowl of distilled water inside the humidor with a hygrometer. Close the lid and let it sit and acclimate for 2 days or so. 24 to 48 hours is what it says. Observe the hygrometer reading. If the humidity level does not reach 65 to 75%, leave it inside for another 1 to 2 days. The larger the humidor, the longer it is going to take for it to become fully seasoned. Normally the seasoning lasts 1 to 2 weeks depending on different factors. When the humidity level rises and stays at 65 to 75% humidity, proceed to the next step. They mentioned 75% humidity. Now they're doing this because ideally when you season a desktop humidor, you want to get it to within about 5%, 5 to 7% of where you want that humidity to pretty much live at. And so the fact that they say 75 is good, because once you pull out the seasoning bowl that's in there, I'm going to use the Boveda packs because they're 72%. I tend to keep my humidors at about 65% humidity. That's just where the sweet spot is for me and my cigars. But they say to go ahead and do that. And then once you have it at that level, go ahead and just load it up with cigars. It says you can fill up with the gel humidifier, which is the little gel beads, or you can use the polyglycol solution. Multiple different ways to do it. And then it says to make sure that the gel is absorbed. But with the Boveda packs, tear open the plastic wrapper on the outside of the Boveda packs, remove the pack, and place them in the humidor. Once the humidor reaches the chosen ideal humidity level for a couple of days and it is ready to go, then you can store cigars in it. Maintain cigars at the proper humidity level by checking the hygrometer and everything periodically. Once the humidity is lower than 65 or the gel shrinks, which is the gel beads, to less than 50 to 70% relative humidity, refill the humidifier, which at this point would be changing out the Boveda pack or anything like that. It does talk about a battery, talks about the hygrometer function. You can hold the button on the back, the adjustment button, for 3 seconds, and it goes into the adjustment setting. to go up and down to actually can calibrate the hygrometer. So if you have another digital hygrometer in here, you can put it in there as well and calibrate it plus or minus 10% relative humidity. After every adjustment, the device will reset to calibration 0. And the readout is temperature in Fahrenheit, like I mentioned. And it will read between 58 and negative 58, excuse me, and 158 degrees Fahrenheit. So wide range for the thermometer. Don't ever get close to the 158. I'll just tell you right now. Don't ever get close to it. Bad, bad, bad. Negative 58, frozen cigars. Don't need to do that either. And then it goes through some different things and some different options depending on which model you get from them. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to load this up with cigars and let's see what the capacity of it is. I'm going to do a mixture of Robusto, Toro, different cigars, different vitolas, all those different things. So let's go to that now. Okay, I have got the humidor loaded up now, and I'm going to do this actually. I'm going to take out the drawer so I don't risk dropping it. So when you look inside here, and I did use the tray that it came with just so you would have a full accurate example. So with the cigars up here and then what is down below with it as well, there are 30 cigars in this humidor. And I have everything from Robustos to Coronas to Toros to Grand Toros. And I mean, there's a 660 in here, lots of different vitolas. And I did that intentionally because I wanted to give you an example of what it's like if you have a real cigar collection with multiple different vitolas. Now, this is, like I said, it's got 30 cigars in it right now. And the bottom layer has Grand Toros in it. So let me take this tray out. Set that there. Okay, and as you can see right here, I have got another 17 cigars here. So I've got 30 cigars in this humidor, right around there. And that's what it's holding. But as you can see, I have got some larger vitolas. These are the Grand Toros that are in there, which is a 6.5 by 56. So it's going to be longer than typical, almost to a Churchill size in terms of length because those are 7 inches long. And so this is an example with larger cigars of what it can hold capacity-wise. You're right about 30. Now, if I were to take out the tray and not use the tray that it comes with, that's right here, then let's see what it holds. Okay, so let me show you what I've got loaded in here. So I have this loaded up fully now, and the lid closes, and it's got exactly 50 cigars in here. And I have everything, let me shift my hands so the door doesn't fall out, everything from shorter, fatter ones to Robustos to Gordos right here and Toros and everything in between, all the way down to including a Lancero. So it has 50 cigars in it right now. So the 50 to 80 capacity, again, this is a complete mixture of vitolas to give you an idea based on an average cigar collection, what it's going to hold. But it fits 50 in here nice and snugly. There's probably room to put some more as a top row and get closer to 58 or 60. But the 50 to 80 rating is on the money. It is appropriate. It is accurate. It is not one of those things where it's like, oh, are you really even going to be able to fit that many? Yes, you can fit. I've got 50 exactly in here right now. So let me talk about a couple things on this. One of the things that I look at a lot when reviewing desktop humidors is the bottom. And you're probably thinking, Tim, why do you look at the bottom? Because the bottom here has felt on it, and you can see it says Woodronic right there, and it's got the felt on there. And I'll be honest, and I did let the company know this after they wanted my initial thoughts. I don't know if you're going to be able to pick this up on camera, if I'll be able to get the glare on it, or get the lighting to show up. But if you look here, probably not going to be able to see, there is just a little bit of looseness with the felt. It's not 100% adhered to the bottom of the humidor. And I let them know that. And I said, you know, the felt on the bottom isn't 100% secured down, and it's not, you know, solid on there. It's not going to fall off, nothing like that. And they said, we appreciate the input. We'll definitely get with quality control. We'll make sure that that gets corrected right away. I love that responsiveness from the brand. Again, they've been in business doing wooden carpentry and cabinetry and creations and design and all the craftsmanship type of things for 50 years, for 5 decades, and they really want to put out a good quality piece. And so, again, There's the humidity in there. It's showing 46% relative humidity right now. Obviously, I loaded cigars into it, and the thermometer on there is reading at 75.6 degrees. So it's gone down a couple degrees since putting cigars in here, since loading it up, since having it acclimated here in my studio, and all those different things. So some pros on this. The way that it seals and closes is very solid. It is a whoosh. It's not a hard thud of wood on wood. And again, this hasn't been fully seasoned or really seasoned at all yet. And so the wood's going to expand and it's going to create an even tighter seal. Very nice on that. Huge pro on this one is the glass on the top. Now, I know I mentioned putting a thin bead of clear caulking on it so that you can help reduce the humidity escaping from it. But with how solid the lid is and holding the glass, it doesn't shift all of that. Huge pro, which means that they took care and consideration to make sure that the humidity isn't going to leak out or have a lid that slides around and rattles and wiggles, different things like that. Another pro in this is I like the large drawer. Yep, humidity's climbing up, 47% now. I like this large drawer. Great large drawer. It is lined with the felt, just like the bottom on here is as well. Very nice touch. I like that a lot. I enjoy it. Very classy looking. And the hygrometer and thermometer combination on it is nice. Instead of having to go and buy your own, you can, like I read in the instructions, you can test it, see where it is, and using the adjustment button on it, you can actually adjust the hygrometer on here so that it does calibrate itself. A couple of cons with this. Really, when it comes to desktop humidors, a big pet peeve of mine is just the way that they look, they go together, all those different things. This is nicely done, but the con on this for me when it comes to that is there's nothing overt that stands out as this being like, okay, this is head and shoulders above the rest. Now, could I say from the aesthetics of it that this can compete and look similar to some of the much more expensive humidors? Yes, absolutely I can. Very classy, very elegant, very nicely designed, very well put together. And the Spanish cedar is very obvious in here. When you open it up, you smell it right away, and it's only going to increase as you get this seasoned and get the cigars in there over time. It's going to be fantastic. So, pros, aesthetics. Pros, the glass. Con, the felt not being 100% adhered to the bottom of the humidor. The other con is I wish there was something on here, and I know it's on the bottom where I just showed you, but I wish there was something on the front that said Woodronic or something just for some brand recognition on it. But very nice desktop humidor. So if you're in the market for a desktop humidor and maybe you're newer in your cigar journey and you're going, Tim, I'm just getting started. I'm not looking to spend a ton of money. I don't have enough of a cigar collection to warrant getting a thermoelectric humidor that holds 150 cigars. Is this a good option? I would absolutely suggest and recommend this as being a great option for you. I have reviewed and looked at many, many desktop humidors, and I can confidently and affirmatively say this is one of the best ones that I have looked at. Now, is it going to compete with the $200, $300, $500, $1,500 humidors? No, but it's not intended to. So if you're getting started in your cigar journey and just want to check out what a good desktop humidor is that is well put together, I definitely do recommend this Woodronic. So I want to thank the people, the team, and everybody from Woodronic for reaching out to me, for asking for my honest input and opinion, and for being open to that feedback already as we've emailed back and forth. I really do enjoy this. I like it. It's a nice piece. It's classy. It's elegant. It'll look great in any home cigar lounge, in a man cave, in a she shed, on your desk at work, wherever you may choose to have your cigar humidor located. It is a great piece. And I can see this being a desktop humidor that gets comments that people go, oh, that's really nice looking, especially if they're newer in their cigar journey and they haven't seen a lot of them. So thank you again to everybody from Woodronic on sending this out to me for my honest evaluation. If you are interested in purchasing this humidor, there is a link down below where you can go and get one for yourself, read even more information about it, and there is a discount code for my subscribers to go and check out this desktop humidor and purchase one for yourself. If you do purchase one, leave a comment and let me know what you think about it. Maybe you're seeing this review 6 months or a year after I post it and you're going, I have that exact one. It happens on many of my humidor review videos. Let me know what you're thinking of it. Let me know how you're experiencing it. What's it been like? How's it doing long term? All those different things. And if you never thought desktop humidors were the right idea and option for you, I really do think Woodronic is on the right track and is putting out a product that is worth looking into, especially if you're looking for a wooden desktop humidor. So that's going to do it for this review on the Woodronic 50 to 80 count wooden glass top desktop humidor. Go check it out. Again, the information's all down below. There's a coupon code down below. Go and use it. Get yourself one of these if you're in the market for a desktop humidor, or if you're looking to get a gift for someone who's getting into cigars. Great option. It reminds me quite a bit of one of the first humidors I got myself that was a 70 count humidor. And I'll be honest, it wasn't as nice as this one is. It just wasn't. I went on Amazon and I just got a basic one because it's what I needed. This definitely would have been a couple steps up from what I got. So I can absolutely recommend it. But go and check it out and make the decision for yourself. And as I say every single time, enjoy your cigar journey, everybody. I'm Cigar Show Tim. As always, I'll see you.